So let us start the new session. Here actually specifically we will discuss one example, that is write a program that continuously get 8-bit data from port 0 and send it to port 1 while simultaneously creating a square wave of 200 microsecond period on pin 2.1. Use timer 0 to create a square wave. Assume that crystal oscillator frequency is 11.0592 MHz. So particularly this type of question may carry 6-mark question. In your end-sem exam, this type of question if arises, then this is 6-mark question. So what you have to do in this particular program, you have to parallelly perform two things. One is you have to send data from port 0 to port 1, that is 8-bit data, and you have to create a square wave on pin number 2.1 using timer 0. So here this particular example use timer 0 in mode 2. So we'll see one by one. ORG00H, we'll start with the program ORG00H, LJEP main. LJEP means it will bypass the interrupt vector table. What is your interrupt vector table? This is your interrupt vector table. It will simply bypass the interrupt vector table. Because interrupt vector table starts from 000BH. Timer 0 interrupt vector table, it will start from 00H. If you will write in the main program, it will directly fetch at this point. So rather you have to start from the main program, then within the main program you can introduce interrupt and move to that interrupt service routine. So we'll see this after this main program. So main program ORG0030H, this is the this is after vector table space, means up to this point vector table moves. Interrupt vector table. Interrupt vector table actually we have means different memory location we have assigned, and those memory location are occupying up to this, just before this particular memory space, that is 0030H. So we have to use timer 0 mode 2 operation. So T mode, to T mode we have to send the value 0 to H. Then since we have to send the data from port 0 and to port 1, therefore port 0 will be an input port. So that's why in order to make port 0 an input port, we have to send 0 FFH. Once we will send 0 FFH, port 0 will behave as an input port, and from the input port whatever the data will be there, that data we can transfer to accumulator. From accumulator we can transfer to port 1. We'll see it. So after this line, this is TH0 minus 92. Why minus 92? There is a logic. So minus 92, its corresponding 2s complement value is A for H. For your simplicity, understanding simplicity, I have here explained. So minus 92H, particularly minus 92H. So its 2s complement value is A for H. How? This is your 92, then it's a 1s complement, then add 1, then finally A for H. So this A for H, we can say that sorry, this A for H is the 2s complement value of this thing. So this is the minimum value. From this A for H, we have to move up to the maximum value. Since we are dealing with mode 2, what is the maximum value? Maximum value is 8-bit. We are dealing with 8-bit operation. Maximum value is FFH. That means from A for H, we have to move up to FFH. So what will be the total count? Total count is 92 times. So 92 times into, since we have taken 11.0592 MHz, so ultimately this comes as 1.085 microsecond. 1.085 microsecond, but we have to create a square wave of 200 microsecond. If the square wave period is 200 microsecond period, then what is the half of the period? 100 microsecond. That's why 92 into 1.085, 92 into 1.085 from this part, 92 into 1.085, total is 99.82 microsecond, means in the simplest means almost it is 100 microsecond. For half person, this is the time period for half second, so total period is 200 microsecond. From this thing we can say that this is the logic why we have taken minus 92H. What you have done? Minus 92h, its 2s complement value, whatever the 2s complement value, till that means from that 2s complement value a4h, you have to move to up to the maximum value and simply multiply that thing. So now come to the main program. So here in the th0 minus 92 value or a4h value you have loaded. So since we are dealing with mode 2, here there is no need to means directly send the value, this value to TL0. Rather, from the TH0 a copy will transfer to TL0. You can refer to our previous discussion. So TL0 value means internally TL0 value will be a4h. From that part it is again moving up to the maximum value, that is ffh. So once the maximum value it will reach, then it will roll over, means timer flag is raised to 1. So we'll see it. So th0 value minus 92 doesn't mean that TL0 has no meaning. Yes, TL0 will automatically it will have minus 92 value or a4h value. From the minimum value it will move up to the maximum value. From the minimum value it will move up to the maximum value. So then we have to enable the interrupt enable register. We have to provide certain value. What is that value? We have to activate the timer 0. So that's why timer 0. So this one is the global enable bit, EA bit. That's why it has to make, or you have to make it 1. Otherwise this bit will not activate. So what is the total value? If timer 0 you have to activate, you have to enable this particular bit, making it 1. Then what is the value? 82h. So as a whole 82h value you have to move to IE. Then what is the next rule? Next rule is that you have to start the timer 0. Start the timer 0 means set B TR0. You have to start this timer 0 value. Timer 0 value once you have start, then the rolling of the minimum value to maximum value will start. Once this reaches to the maximum value, the timer flag TF0 flag equal to 1. So we can say that set B TR0 we have start the operation, but it will move up to the maximum value, means it starts from A4H, it will reach to FFH, but within that gap what we can do, we can utilize the time. This is the biggest difference of interrupt and polling. So here we can say that you can take the example of 9.15. Example 9.15. In our previous discussion, we have observed that JNB TF0 back. That means same thing. Set B TR0. We have started the timer 0, and once we will start the value, it will start from the minimum value and it will reach counting will start and it will reach to the maximum value. So JNB TF0 means as long as this TF0 equal to 0, this particular loop will continue. This particular loop will continue. Means JNB TF0 comma back. Jump if bit equal to 0. This bit equal to 0, that means it will jump, again this will jump, again this will jump, as long as this TF0 not equal to 1. So after that, once this is raised to 1, this will come to this part. This is the clear, means clear TR0, clear TF0, means timer 0 will clear, TF0 will clear, then DZ, NZ, RF delay, then again it will move to the original delay program, main program or delay program, then that is RET, return. Once it will complete, then it will return back to the original one. So point of discussion is that here we are using RET, here you are using JNB. JNB means particularly we are using polling type of activity. You have to observe, you have to monitor, you have to check every bit. You cannot do anything apart from this looping operation. But here, in this case, once you start set bit TR0, you move on to certain other activity. What is your activity? Move A comma P0. Get data from P0. Means we have already set port 0 as an input port. So we'll start with make P0 an input port. Once we are making as input port, whatever data we are sending to the input port, that data will transfer to accumulator. From the accumulator, it moves to the port 1. So one of our main task is over. Over means we have accomplished. Then P0 to A to P1. Then SJM back. That means this will continue up to that point as long as timer flag 0 or timer 0 flag is not going to 1. Means it will wait till that point. Means up to that point this particular small activity is going to continue. Once this is TF raised to 1, TF0 raised to 1, it will jump to this interrupt vector table. Till that point it will continue. That means simultaneously we have performed two activities. We have utilized the time and we have utilized the interrupt vector table. So ORG00BH, this is the timer 0 interrupt vector table address. Then what you have to do next? You have to go for complement 2.1 because you have to generate a square wave of 200 microsecond period on pin 2.1. How 200 microsecond we have already discussed. But what is the point where you are going to create? Now port T.1. So complement this thing. Then RETI, RETI, return from ISR. Means once we will complement this thing, it will move to the main program. So here you can observe that there is no requirement of clear TR0 or clear TF0. Rather you can say that once you are invoking RETI or once you are facing RETI, that means automatically it will clear TR0 and TF0. But in case of this particular program, you can see that here return, once you are facing return, means you have to manually clear TR0, clear TF0. So this is the biggest difference or significant difference between RETI and return. Here there is no requirement of this manual clearance of TR0 and TF0. Since we are dealing with TR0 and we are also dealing with TF0 timer flag, we have to clear this thing. That means once you are in putting this RETI, microcontroller will think that this particular interrupt is over. That means if any other interrupt is in line, or in queue, that means microcontroller will give attention to that interrupt. But in this particular case, if you are putting RET in particularly this interrupt subroutine, microcontroller will think that this particular interrupt is not over. It is still continuing. So any other interrupt, if any other interrupt is in line or in queue, microcontroller will not give attention. So this is also another difference. Means if your RET is there, that interrupt is over. If RET is there, interrupt is still there. Whether you have over or not doesn't matter, but still microcontroller will feel that one interrupt is there. So by this way you can say that RET and RETI differs. So in this way we can say that in this particular program you have achieved two things. One is you have sent data from P0 to P1 and you have created a square wave of 200 microsecond. This is very important. So you can check it once more by referring to the book. Thank you.